This virus most probably will not be over either this year or next year. Very easily, it can run to 4 to 6 years before this pandemic becomes an epidemic. Wave after wave will keep coming back, could decimate human populations, disturb our life the way we have known it, may be completely a thing of the past if we don't take care. It could be a very long haul. It may change the very way we exist on this planet, it's possible. There is a situation in the country which is dire, grim, we can use all the words. Thousands of people are dying. Instead of complaining, we need to understand no nation on the planet can provide medical infrastructure to all its population at once. Right now, this is what is happening, too many people falling sick, there is not enough infrastructure to meet that. Well, too many people are busy giving commentaries about how we are ill-equipped and this and that. Well, would you prefer to build endless number of hospitals when everything was okay, instead of building schools, roads, ports, whatever else the nation needs? So, we must understand this is not a time to go about complaining, criticizing, wasting our breath on anything other than positive action. I know right now the word positive has become negative, but action should be positive. Your COVID test must be negative. It's very important that at a time like this, you must understand the significance of the practices that have been taught to you. Maybe you never saw these yogic practices in a way that you thought it will spiritually enhance you, maybe take away your backache or headache or improve your performance in day-to-day life, variety of other things. But you might have never looked at it as a life-saving device. But that's exactly what it can be if your practices have been normal and you're keeping it on all the time. Definitely your body will take this, the ravaging that virus may cause much, much better than most other people. Being in touch with the earth, being in touch with the elements, and the yogic practices along with that could make a huge difference. So at a time like this, those of you who know the benefits of this, it's very important that you must keep up the practices, that's most important. Every one of you must spend at least 90 to 120 minutes per day doing some practice, either Surya Kriya or Shakti Chalana Kriya, Shambhavi, if not anything else, at least the Simha Kriya. All these practices make a difference, especially those of you practicing Shakti Chalana Kriya. There will be a massive difference in your system in the very way the body arranges itself. So, keeping up the practice is very vital. And also, this is a time, I'm well is not good enough, because everybody around us are ill means, one way or the other they will give it to us. So it's important everybody around us is also well. So for this, these simple tips for immunity, what we have given out in terms of how to eat food, simple practices to do, about Sashtang, about Simha Kriya, all of you should take it up. Don't leave it to the foundation, all of you should take it up to see that each one of you, that you make sure you spread it to as many people as possible, because this is a time, this is most needed. This is not a time… Pandemic, one thing the pandemic is doing to us is, it is what I was trying to do all these years. Your individuality is a myth that you have created. There is a universal nature to life. Well, this virus is giving you teachings that I've been giving, but you've learned to ignore many things, but here you are, the virus is teaching it in a very virulent way, unfortunately. But I'm saying this is the time to learn how connected life is. This is not something that you can think you're in isolation and everything will happen to you separately because you got a few things organized. That's not how it works. I've been talking to various scientific, people of science in this area and many important doctors in the world. From what I gather, and also I've been saying this myself because from the basic nature of what's happening, it's simply common sense also to see this, that this virus most probably will not be over either this year or next year. Very easily, it can run to 4 to 6 years before this pandemic becomes an epidemic. That too, if the world invests enough and we are fortunate enough to come up with a very efficient treatment protocol. Till that happens, this pandemic can keep coming back in waves. As you see from the first wave to second wave, that virus has come back much more equipped to harm us than what it was in 2020. This 2021 virus is almost doubly or triply effective in terms of causing harm to human beings, and in 2020 we had an assurance that below a certain age, young people will not be affected. But it is no more so. So many people in their 20s and 30s unfortunately have lost their lives. So, virus may get better and better. We have to get better, this is very important. The solution is not elsewhere, it is with us, because this is a virus where the sole carrier is the human being. It is not mice, it is not mosquitoes, it is not birds. All these years fevers have been coming, we are thinking it is chicken flu, it is this flu, it is that flu. This is nothing like that. This is essentially carried by human beings. So, human beings are the only solution. Conscious, responsible human beings are the only solution really. Otherwise, wave after wave will keep coming back, could decimate human populations, disturb our life the way we have known it, may be completely a thing of the past if we don't take care. And it's very, very important that every one of us must understand our responsibility in not only supporting ourselves and ensuring we don't get infected. This is a fundamental commitment everybody should take. I will not get infected. If I do get infected, I will ensure it doesn't go on to one more person. Now I get COVID and then you call your children and you get COVID and then you call your children and your spouse and you get emotional and you hug them and love, Love is not going to save us. Sense is the most important thing right now. In a situation like this, it is sensible, responsible, conscious behavior which is going to be the winner of this. There is simply no other solution that anybody has come up with. We have only learned to postpone. Vaccination is a good way to postpone, but vaccination also is not a permanent solution. But at this time, it is very important that everybody gets vaccinated. There's a whole lot of people who are internet scientists who are picking up bits and pieces from all over the place and talking about all the different negativities of vaccination. I want you to understand, every vaccination you have taken in your childhood, of diphtheria, of smallpox and whatever else you have taken, all of them had an element of harm, an element of risk in them. But we took them, it's because of that most of us are alive today. So the same goes for this vaccine. Does it have an element of risk? Yes, but it has been substantially established, the element of risk is minuscule and it is worth neglecting it right now, because right now the risk of infection and fatality from that is much, much higher. We need to understand health is not an absolute thing. Health is something that we achieve incrementally. So the same thing goes for the vaccination. Right now, vaccination is a must for everybody. Nobody should evolve philosophies of anti-vax. This is just rubbish right now, putting everybody's life to risk. Well, if you want to be anti-vax, go and live on a Himalayan peak where you're not in touch with any human being, it's fine. But if you're living in a city, town or a community, you must take vaccination right now. Is this a final ultimate solution for this pandemic? No. At least it'll give us a break of 6 to 9 months. We can postpone it. In this postponement, probably a little more awareness and consciousness will come and we clearly understand the risk that we're putting ourselves into and putting everybody else around us. You have to ensure you will not die and nobody around you dies. This is the only way. This is the only way. There is no magic wand solution anywhere. This is the only way, and this may be a long haul. How long? We don't know, but it could be a very long haul. It may change the very way we exist on this planet, it's possible. Or if virus just decides and just fades off, as sometimes it is done in the past, some of the viruses have done that. If such a thing happens, well, we are very fortunate, but if such a bonus comes our way, we will definitely enjoy it. But right now, thinking of such fanciful dreams is not the right thing to do. It's very, very, very important. Everybody must see how to bring aspects into their life, how to eat properly so that our oxygen levels and immune system is good, how to live properly so that our oxygen levels and immune system is fighting fit, and how to do what practices to do to achieve the same thing. This should be the focus right now, and the whole country or the whole world should move in this direction. And International Day of Yoga is coming. It is very important that all of you become instruments, because you are not just teaching a simple practice, you could be saving their life. Please make this happen for yourself and everybody around you. This is the time to stand up and show what kind of human beings we are, what are we made of. This is not a time for frustration, this is not a time for depression, this is not a time to come into a state of despair. This is a time to stay calm, to stay equanimous and do the right thing. The right thing is not a spectacular, heroic act. Right thing is simple. Wearing a mask is not heroic, but it is heroic, believe me. Keeping social distance doesn't look so spectacular, but it is a spectacular act because this can save your life and everybody's life around you. Please, these things you must maintain. Having been on a spiritual path, claiming that there is awareness in you, that you are spiritually oriented, if you can't manage these things, it means nothing. All spirituality will mean nothing because you will be risking your life and putting everybody else to risk.